Good morning, everyone. I hope you can see me and hear me. Say yes. Okay,
Yeah.
good. All right. This is an interesting morning with Zoom. So thank you for helpers because this is a team sport. We need each other. Oh my goodness. Well, this morning is our Thursday morning business chat, and I'm always living in the question of what can we offer that can be supportive to everyone? And I was on a call yesterday with Helen and a few other people, and I brought up this book, um, John Maxwell, The Power of Five. For those of you that were at our conference several years ago, John Maxwell, one of the greatest leadership best-selling authors of all times, was our speaker. And we did a book club on this book, and it's called The Power of Five for Network Marketing, if you can see it. And he interviewed top leaders around the world to come up with the five most important things in network marketing to be successful. And the number one thing was called growth. Isn't that interesting? Which many of you know that that's really my favorite topic because I love this business because we get to grow people. And you hear me quote Jim Rohn all the time. It says, work twice as hard on yourself as you do on your business because you are your business. And that's what we're going to talk about today, um, is why it's so important. And it is the number one secret to exploding your network marketing business. And so, I want to start out with a question. If your income doubled tomorrow, would you be the same person you are today? So write in the chat if that's true? Or would you need to become someone bigger to handle it and keep it? And there's stories about how people that win the lottery and they can win hundreds or millions or whatever, and a year later they're in the same position they were before because they haven't grown into being able to handle that. So it's really true in our business. And I'm gonna, I've got a bunch of notes and I'm gonna read some of them, you know. And so, uh-oh, we got some noise going on. Um, Helen, Tim, you want to take care of that?
I
Thank you.
got it.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay. So, Jim Rohn, again, income seldom exceeds your personal development. Success is nothing more than a few simple disciplines practiced every day. And in our business, we talk about the products, the comp plan, the tools, but the real product, guess what it is? It's you. It's you. And so people don't join companies, they join people. And so we want to be the best person, the best possible leader and grow into that. And so we're going to, visit a little bit more about why network marketing is truly a leadership and duplication process. It's not just sales. You must become what others want to follow and duplicate. So your team grows to the level of your own leadership. What are you doing to grow yourself? Things like rejection, inconsistency, fear of judgment, these are emotional challenges and they hit harder in our profession because success really depends on relationships and influence. So without growth, doubt creeps in, frustration, quitting when it's hard. But with consistent growth and a bigger vision, stronger confidence, better communication resilience, you attract better people and it keeps your momentum. Success in our profession is 90% mindset and 10% mechanics. We do need to learn the skills, but the more you grow, the more your business grows. You become the lid of your team's growth. So, what is the mindset that you have right now? Do you have what we call a fixed mindset where I'm not good at recruiting, I'm an introvert, I'm a whatever, or a growth mindset? I am good at recruiting. If you don't feel like you're good at recruiting, I'm getting better at recruiting all the time. So it's really important to practice every day things that are going to help you grow and stretch. And I I think I've shared this story many, many times, but for some of you that may be new, I was in the field of leadership development for many, many, many years. And I've been working in that area of personal and leadership development most of my career. But when people would show up at a meeting, they'd come because they were told to come. And at the end, they'd kind of look at me like this, and then they'd open up and say, I wish I would have been more open. This is really good stuff. And when I came to network marketing, I was elated because people show up like you guys are showing up today and every Thursday because you want to grow, you want to learn. And I was in heaven
Yeah,
when I
I
found
do.
network marketing because people are showing up because they want to grow. And so, the value in life is what we become. And there's a great thing that I was reading from John Maxwell. Uh, he said, personal growth is not automatic. It doesn't just happen. You grow. To grow, you must be intentional about growing. And he said the success in his life is a result of his personal growth. As he grew on the inside, his success grew on the outside. And he had a learning lunch with his mentor for years. And I love this. And his mentor ate, and the food he got was what he learned from his mentor. So, he was constantly asking questions. What is the greatest lesson you ever learned? What are you learning right now? How has failure shaped your life? What have you read that I should read? These are questions that you might want to ponder and ask people that you really respect or mentors that you have. What have you done that I should do? You know, who do you know that I should know? Bigger people make you become bigger. If you're the smartest person in the room, you're in the wrong room. This is what he says. So we want to continually challenge ourselves, and we want to have a plan. And a plan for personal growth is something that you will do every day. It doesn't have to take a long time. It could be starting the morning with affirmations or questions, forward focused questions, but you want to read or listen to personal development programs. There's tons of books and podcasts and things that are available free. The old and tried and true, like How to Win Friends and Influence People, Think and Grow Rich. Eric Worre's GoPro, a lot of you have been to his program. But every morning, affirm, I am becoming the leader my team needs me to be. And to really look at what skill, on a weekly basis, what skill do you want to develop? Do you want to develop a skill on better storytelling, better listening, handling objections? How do you do that? You attend trainings like you're doing today and take the time weekly to review what you set as your intention and your goal. See how you're doing. And then, if need be, make some course corrections. And every month, invest in yourself somehow. Whether it's going to a course, attending a live event, get some coaching, and living in the question, what did I learn? How did this help me grow? What changed in my business? And I love this term, personal growth is not fluffy. It's the highest leverage activity in our business. And so taking the time on a regular basis, ideally a few minutes every day to learn and grow. How can I grow more into my potential? What skills do I need to develop? You know, who can I visit with that can give me some good questions or give me some resources? So really taking the time is really crucial. And realize that it's not a straight line in the world, and we do deal with challenges, and we're building our emotional resilience. It's like a muscle. It's to not take rejection personally. It's just another opportunity to grow. And one of my mentors, Nikki Keohoho, who started the Direct Selling World Association, she said, when the waitress is walking around the restaurant, has the dessert platter and offers it here and offers it there, and some people accept it, some people don't. Does she take it personally? No. It's just, I kind of spray Teflon on people, you know, coat yourself with Teflon. So if there's negativity in your background or things come to you, it just slides off and it doesn't control you because that's what we're wanting. So becoming a better listener and storyteller or, learning how to ask powerful questions. People join people they trust and like. We say that all the time. It's like authenticity is what creates duplication. We want to be more of us. Don't want to be someone else. You don't want to try to be someone else. You want to be more of you because people are connecting with who you are. Um, Become the person your team wants you to become by modeling discipline, by modeling positivity, by modeling your work ethic. What are you doing every day? And, something, a little shift in this one, years ago, and many of you have heard this story, I think, is one of my leaders came to me and said, if being a diamond in this business is the lifestyle you have, I don't want it. And I went, that was like a huge red flag for me. We are in a lifestyle business. We want to all model the lifestyle that people want. So when you're posting on social media, post fun things that you're doing, post that you have freedom to be with your family, to take vacations. Gregory and I will go out in the middle of the day and take a bike ride or go to the gym or whatever. That's what people want is a lifestyle. That's what they're connecting into with our business is a lifestyle. And so, really develop those habits. And it takes time. And we did another on our book club in the beginning. We did the book Atomic Habits, which is an amazing book. And he talks about habit stacking. When you're wanting to develop a new habit, like what I tell people when they're um, starting with patches, I keep it by my toothbrush. And I know I'm going to brush my teeth in the morning. And so that's when I put my patches on. And I know I'm going to brush my teeth at night. That's when I take my patches off and put my nighttime patches on. Is it exactly 12 hours? No, but that's okay. We're not in an exact science. We do want to give our body a break. But when you habit stack and you're trying to learn something new, if you stack it on something you know you're going to do every day, guess what? It's easier. And we don't want to do too much at once. That's been part of my challenge. Gregory watches me do this all the time. I'm so excited to grow that I just kind of involved in so many things at the same time. And you can't do anyone well. So really choose what's the important focus for what's needed for you right now. So I'd love you to write in the chat, what is one thing you're going to focus on this week, from now till next Thursday, that's going to make a difference in your personal growth. And so I'd love you to write in the chat and share with people what is it that you're going to do. And I don't even know if I can see the chat. Oh my gosh. Um, this is very interesting for me. And leaders must be flexible because you never know what's going to happen with technology. And Zoom is behaving very interesting today. So maybe I'll have someone read the chat since I can't. Um, Okay, follow up. Okay, I see a few things coming in. Follow up is self-care. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Help my teammates achieve their desires in LifeWave. That's our job, is to find out from people what is your desired outcome and how can I support you getting from where you are to where you want to be, not where I want you to be, where I think you can be, should be, where I want you to be, need you to be, for me to move forward. No, it's always about them. So, someone else said working out 30 minutes a day. Those things are so crucial. So, daily routines and disciplines make such a difference over time. Here's a few more Jim Rohn quotes because I love Jim Rohn so much. I actually downloaded his anthology on Audible because when I travel, I feed my mind with really cool stuff. And I listened to, I think it was 7 hours of Jim Rohn. I put it on 1.5 speed, so it could take me through a few air flights. But when you're doing something like folding laundry or whatever, to tune in to something that can really stretch your mind and stretch you, because that's what's going to make a difference in your business. If you keep growing, your business is going to keep growing. And that's what's so important. So Jim Rohn says formal education will make you a living, self education will make you a fortune. And he likes to say, I'm working full time on my job and part time on my future. And that's what this business is about. The major value in life is what you become. And what do you want to become? What is your intention? We have this, Gregory and I like to call it a greenhouse. It's a safe place for you to grow into your potential. And I guarantee it will be directly affected in your business. I mean, years ago, when our son got out of college, I said, look at our life. The life we have was not by accident. It was by design. We carefully picked those things that are important. And I've been doing this for decades because that's what I taught people is how do you design your lifestyle in order of what's most important to you. So whether it's a relationship, a home, a business, that it really meets your top values. So when I look at work, I want to work with people that are healthy and positive. I want to be doing something that's, helping people grow and learn. I want to have unlimited income. I want to be able to make a difference in the world. What are those things for you? What are the things for you in a place to live? I want to live in a place that has easy access to nature, that where I have a view. To me, a view is not a luxury. It's actually a necessity because I'm a vision person. So it doesn't matter where I'm living, I have to have a view. It has to be expansive. I want to have access to really healthy food. I have a friend who took a contract and she went down to I think it was Alabama or something or Mississippi, and all they had was fried foods, and she had a hard time getting the fresh vegetables and things, and she realized, oh my goodness, I didn't realize how important that was until she didn't have it. And so, we're not building a business, we're building ourselves. And and as we build ourselves, it will directly affect the growth in our business. And then develop a plan. So whatever that is for you that fits in your life, 30, 60 minutes a day, but it could be less. It doesn't have to be that much, but really put a plan together for you. And so let me see. It's about 20 after, and we like to keep this at kind of a open-ended for your questions. So I'd love any of you that have questions for me, because for those of you that know me, I could go on and on and on about this topic because it's my favorite part of this business is creating a greenhouse, a safe place for each and every one of you to grow into your potential. And if there's anything that Gregory and I can do that serves and supports you even more, please let us know. Reach out if there's topics you want us to cover, whatever that may be. So I want to see, and I need some help, Helen, because I'm not able to see Helen and Tim. If you can help me, if anyone has their hand raised with a question or a comment, or you want to share what you're doing, I'd love to hear because I'm not able to see the chat at all. I
Yeah,
don't know why.
I
There are
don't.
no hands up at the moment.
No hands. That means you guys are all blossomed into your potential.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Helen, I'd love you to share the value that you've had from really taking the time because you've invested a lot in yourself. And it's so beautiful. What difference has it made for you, Helen? Because it's so beautiful to continually watch you learning and growing and inspiring others. What has changed for you?
Well, honestly, the thing that's changed for me the most is I get to cry with gratitude every day, and you know me, my passion is like you, growing people. And I love customers, I love our patches, I love everything about it, but I do have a passion. And I feel like, you know, um, the money, the finances, the paycheck is a product because with more finances, you can take better care of yourself. You can get your massages, chiropractic, whatever kind of healing modality you would love. You can take vacations, several in a year. You can work from anywhere, and you can see people meet their goals and have their vacations, and come to California and see Elton John and all the wonderful people that we've seen, in all the places. So for me, honestly, keep growing. I love to grow. I remember in Las Vegas, uh, Phil Jones and David talked about, getting better. It's so important to get better. Don't be best, be better. You can, it's like unlimited potential. So tap into it. And yeah, the other day, actually, I realized that there's a part of me that was settling into on a deeper level of being a leader by just being me. So, yeah, you're right. I take all the courses, I read the books, I keep showing up, right? Like Gregory says, show up, and a year later, who will you be? What will your business look like?
I love it, Helen. You said so many great things. Showing up. And you guys are showing up on Thursday morning. You're showing up on all these different Zooms to learn and grow and bringing your people and you mentioned gratitude and that is one of the magic pieces of growth is we get more of what we focus on. And when I was with a business called Enlightened Leadership, we had a really simple tool called DNA. And I'm going to share this with you as you're choosing whatever topic it is that you want to grow on. Let's say follow up. You want to be better at follow up. Okay. So the first thing is you decide you're going to be better at follow up. I'm going to be better at follow up. Then every time you are doing follow up, you notice it, decide, notice, acknowledge. Okay, I decided I want to be better at follow up. I notice when I did it, and then I acknowledge it, and you go like this. And what we acknowledge, we get more of. What we focus on, we get more of. And it becomes this beautiful upward spiral that you just keep getting better and better and better. It's not about getting there, it's continuous improvement. And I remember years ago, someone I was interviewing said, well, what is the legacy you want to leave, Robin? And I had never really thought about it, honestly. And out of my mouth came, I want to inspire people to be continual learners, to just constantly be growing and learning. Because you know what happens when you do that? Things get better and better and better. And, I've been through some challenging times. I've been through, financial challenges, physical challenges, emotional challenges, as we all have. But if we use every one of them to take the time to learn from them, to grow from them, to live in the question, what is the gift in this one? Several of you know a few years ago, Gregory said I went from being an Energizer bunny to a sloth. I had a major break in my neck of my humerus and then it dislodged. And I was literally like this for 3 months, not able to move, sleeping in a chair 24/7. And I had a lot of time to reflect, you know, what is the gift here and how could I use this time to actually take me to the next level? Because when we're ill, a lot of times we're not even able to be conscious enough to do that because we're in so much pain or whatever. But when you do have that quiet and taking the time for quiet every day too, but I want to get back to gratitude because if we start our day with
We have to go.
gratitude and end our day with gratitude,
Come on.
we've got some people that need to be muted. Thank you. When we start and end our day with gratitude, a lot of you I know have a gratitude journal, and you take the time every day to just acknowledge a few things that you're grateful for. I've been in a mastermind group with several women for about 10 years. We meet every single week. And we always start out with gratitude. Always. We do the mastermind process, but we always start out with gratitude. And it just forces us to be thinking, what am I grateful for? I woke up today. It's a beautiful sunny day. We didn't get winter here. It's very strange. It's been in the 50s in Montana. We have no snow, but it's beautiful out. So enjoy the sunshine. Enjoy living in a beautiful place. So who else wants to share?
We have 3 hands up. We have Jen Bell, Kim Lee, and Shaya, Chaya.
So Jen, you want to start, and then Kim, and then Shaya.
Robin, my question has developed a little bit since you just so beautifully poured out. But my question is, as you and Gregory were developing your lifestyle, how did you balance, and you really just did speak to some hard times, what I would call strength training
Yes, build
times.
those muscles.
And when you're developing a network marketing business and maybe coming out of a different type of income earning, and you're really wanting to balance flow, which when I think of flow, it's easy. It doesn't hurt. There's no pain. And because
You
I
know,
have been really hard on myself. So I
ah,
am, and how do you balance a flow with that strength training? Those little moments where, oh man, I know that this is going to hurt, but I need to step into it with how to back off and just get into a flow. Because I love how Connie says, I want to find joy and ease in whatever I'm doing. And if I'm doing something that doesn't have joy and ease, then maybe I need to sit back and evaluate.
it, it, you know, there's a martial art named Aikido, and it's about moving with the energy. When we're fighting the energy, things are hard. My sister actually wrote a book called River Logic, and it's using the metaphor of the river and how our relationships and communication happen. Sometimes we hit the eddy and we're circling around. Sometimes we bump into a rock. Well, what we're looking for is that flow. And what you said, Jen, about being hard on yourself, you know, that's a place to start. You know, how can I be easier on myself? How can I be more gentle with myself? But at the same time, to grow, it's like when you're developing a muscle. We work out a few times a week with a trainer, and we were talking about, you know, using heavier weights or less reps or whatever. And every time you get to that place where it's really hard to get it, but you do it anyway, and you continually stretch, and I'll take a heavier weight and a heavier weight, even though it's what happens is we're tearing muscle. But when we tear muscle, what happens is we grow a stronger muscle. So we're actually building muscles on how do we grow. And there is a hard part to it, but it doesn't have to be painful and, you know, difficult. It's like we're stretching. And we're stretching into new places. If you try to stretch too much, we get too far outside of our comfort zone and then we retract. So we want to know where our comfort zone is because in order to grow, we need to feel safe. If it's not safe to grow, we're going to do this. So we want to be, and that's what we hope to do in our community is have an environment where you feel safe to grow into your potential. That, you know, not to, you know, if you try to do too much and you go too extreme, what happens is we pull back. And so, you know, when you think about people that have been harmed or traumatized, you know, the world isn't safe. So, how can we incrementally have people feel safer and safer? And that's what we want to do in our business. And it is key to that. But for you, Jen, I'd start out with looking at what can you do to be more gentle with yourself? Well, what can you do to love, you know, self-care is one of the biggest challenges for a lot of us. You know, to take the time to do the things that have us consistently feel better about ourselves and take whether it's, you know, regular exercise, eating well, eating consciously, you know, hydrating, movement. You know, if movement is difficult, do a little bit. You know, do a few stairs. You know, do something. You know, move it or lose it. You know, I was recently, as some of you know, did a surprise visit on New Year's to my aunt, and she had her 90th birthday. To look at her, you'd think she's in her 60s, but she has always been in movement, always. And she is fit as all get out, and she's always laughing. You know, the number one ingredient, which is really interesting for healthy longevity, is laughter. How can we be laughing more? She's always laughing. In that same week that I saw her, I was in touch with two other people that are very close in my life. One of them was my neighbor, who the mother of my best friend when I grew up. She's 97, spunky as all get out. You know, Arlene, she's amazing. She's always laughing. She's not on any medications. She's 97. Incredible. And another woman, Joyce Chapman, she wrote a book called Journaling for Joy. And journaling is one of those most amazing tools that can be your best therapist ever. And if you're interested, it's called Journaling for Joy, or she wrote another one called Live Your Dream. And she gives you journaling prompts of questions to live in and then journal. So how can you live your dream life with joy? And so it's a constant process, but find people, find books, find resources of people that, are better than you are in whatever area it is that you want to grow. I hope that was helpful, Jen.
It was very helpful. And what I'm celebrating, I'm doing a little more patting on the back than I ever have before. And
Yay.
even in the word mistake, I was thinking of the word mistake because I've been laughing when I seem to be making a mistake, but maybe it's not even a mistake, but I'm doing a lot more laughing. When I might stumble a little bit, I'm just laughing at myself. I'm giving myself permission to laugh.
And from that, whatever mistake or thing you did, I did something really stupid on our last trip. I mean, it's like I wasn't thinking. I signed us up for an e-bike tour in Mexico. I was envisioning e-biking in Montana on smooth roads with no people. We had cobblestone roads with traffic, with people, with construction. It was not very smart of me. I mean, I'm glad I survived. I actually was concerned, and I was watching my mind go in the wrong direction. I was thinking about all these things because my leg is still not that strong, I'm 3 months out of a revision of a knee replacement, my third knee replacement, and it's not that strong yet. And if my bike, those things are heavy, fell over, I would have been in trouble. So I'm watching my mind go in the wrong direction. And so I caught it. Excuse me. I caught it. And then I refocused and I called in my helpers and I did my prayers and I felt safe again. But boy, what do we learn from things like that? That was not a really smart thing I did. But afterward, I went, okay, I got a really important lesson to remember, what's going on with my body and to make safe choices. So you're laughing. That's really, really good. And, if we can be the observer be in our life and be the observer of our life at the same time, it's so powerful because we're not attached and we're just watching and saying, oh, what could I have done even better? Living in healthy, forward focused questions, especially, when you do things that are mistakes or not really good decisions. What did I learn from it? What could I do differently next time? How could I benefit from this situation? So thank you, thank you, thank you. Now, Kira, were you next?
Yes, and then we have Kim Lee and Michelle Niels.
Okay, thank you. So who's ever next, unmute your line, please. I can't, I'm like blind over here.
She's working blind. I'm having to be the eyes today. So
Liz, thank goodness
Shia
for
is
Liz.
the next one, and then Kim Lee.
Okay, great.
So if you can unmute Shia.
Or Kim Lee Molina.
And if she's having,
Did I
there
do
she
it?
goes. Yep,
did it.
you did it.
Okay. I'm working from my phone and it's a small phone. I have just one question about something you said earlier, Robin, there were two authors that you thought were wonderful. And I really would like to know their names so that I could look them up and read their books.
Well, in the network, so the first one I talked about was John Maxwell. And this is The Power of Five for Network Marketers.
Then you'll take your first ride on the Sage Brush Trail.
You have to go to his website to get this book. I don't think it's on Amazon, but it's The Power of Five of Network Marketing. And in here, he talks about the 5 most important things. If you do them every day, you will have success in your business. The very first power is growth. Then
please say his name again. Please say his name.
John Maxwell.
We'll put it in the chat.
Maxwell.
Yes. So the 5 things are growth, connection, mindset, leadership, and significance. This is
Oh,
it's a
wonderful, wonderful.
it's a really little book, but it is filled with gems. I mean, I've got it all highlighted and scored all over the place. I love this book, and we did a book study on it a few years ago, right after he was our speaker. And then I talked about Jim Rohn and Eric Worre. Jim Rohn, you can go to YouTube and download all kinds of stuff from him. He's kind of like the philosopher of our profession. And
Oh, that's great.
and he's just brilliant and inspiring. And he's the one I listen to on the plane a lot. Yeah.
How do you spell his last name, dear?
It's Rohn. Jim
Thank you.
Rohn. And just go to YouTube. You can get tons of stuff free. When I'm out walking, I listen to him. When I'm flying, just find some things and ask the people that are in your upline, what are you reading? What are you listening to? What's inspiring you? Like what John Maxwell did with his mentor at his breakfasts. Just constantly living in those questions and just getting little bits of learning was wonderful. Okay.
Please share the second author.
I
think
It's
there was-
in the chat, Jim Rohn, Rohn, and you can see a
Oh,
lot
he's
of
the
these.
second one.
Yeah.
He's the second one. Oh, okay. I got it. I got it already. Okay.
And then
Yes.
a lot of people love Eric Worre's work. Eric Worre is, what's it called? Go Pro. It's like being a professional in our business. And Eric has done, getting on his mailing list or whatever. He gives these little snippets on a regular basis. I get them on, my phone, and they're wonderful. He has just blossomed through the years and offers really, really fabulous training for our profession. And I know a bunch of people from our team went and heard Mark Azetta, and he does amazing training also. There's just a lot of, ask your upline who their favorite, guides are to help them grow in this business model. Okay.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Who's next?
Kim.
Hey, Kim.
Good morning, Robin.
Good
Thank you.
morning.
Good morning. Thank you so much for letting me share. There was so much wisdom in these calls. I have been a student of self-growth and development since I was 23 and was introduced to the network marketing industry coming from corporate. I'd climbed a corporate ladder from the age of 16 to the age of 60 to 23. I thought I'm going to get a jump on it on corporate because that was my thought process growing up. Go to school, get good grades, work your way up a corporate ladder. And my world got rocked when I stepped into a network marketing meeting. I had no idea what I was stepping into. And he held up the book, Think and Grow Rich. And that took me on a whole different trajectory. Now, I am 56 years old, and I have been a student of personal growth and development for decades now. And I hope this resonates with somebody out there because I am in the toughest season in my life right now. My mom passed away, and I was with her. I was with her the whole week as she was transitioning from this world. And if you've ever been through that, you know the breathing is different, their body's changing. And going through the growth for 30 years has allowed me to stand strong because we got through all my mama's services. And then 5 days later, my dad's in the gym. I'm with him, and he breaks both of his legs on a machine. He has knee replacements, which you're familiar with, right? He's got knee replacements on both knees, and this squat machine took him down too far, and he snapped both of his femurs. I've been in the hospital with him, and I have to say I put 29 patches on him when that happened. And I think that I'm sure that's helped him with his healing. But I can tell you that when you are working on yourself and you're working on your health and all the things, your mind, body, spirit, you can rise up when these things happen. And this group of people, Lavelle, just my whole team, I don't want to name names because I'm going to forget people, but there's so many people that have rallied behind me. This is a safe place to grow. It's a safe place to rise up. And that's really what I've been able to do because of the personal growth, because of the health, keeping myself healthy. And these patches, we have, and then of course the residual income. Some gal said that that is part of the product too, is the pay plan. It gives you freedom to be able to show up and be present. And so if just know that you're on a good track, the storms will come, and the better you train your mind, body, spirit, you will be able to handle those storms and stay connected with this group because it's such a support system. There's nothing like it. This is the best organization I've ever had the opportunity to be a part of, and I'm so grateful. So with that, back to you, Robin.
Well, my heart goes out to you, sweetheart. So your mother must have passed just very recently.
Yeah, she passed December 20th.
December 20th. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a big deal when our mamas go. And, you know, you've been working on yourself so much and you've got your body strong and that's so beautiful. And you're able to be there for your dad because you're strong in ways that you wouldn't have been able to before. So God bless you, my dear, and thank you for sharing. And yeah, I remember when I discovered personal development, I had moved to California and all of a sudden I was in workshops every weekend and I was buying books by the foot and consuming them. And I'm going, this is the coolest thing ever. I finally found something I wanted to read about, which is learning and growing. And God bless you, my dear. Be gentle. Be gentle. It's a journey, going through what you're going through. That's a huge thing when your mamas go. Yeah, thank you. Okay, who's next?
Michelle Niels and then Josefina.
Okay, thank you, Liz. I really appreciate you being my eyes. Yes. Michelle? I don't hear you.
Michelle looks like she's frozen.
Robin, are you
now
not able to see the screen? Can you see the screen, Robin?
What?
Yes.
I can hear you now.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
I'm going to switch to my phone. You can hear me, right? Okay, I just switched to my phone. I'm going to switch to my phone. You can hear me, right? Can you hear me, Robin?
Yeah. Yes, we can.
Okay. I am having unstable internet. Following up with what Kim Lee said, this community is unlike anything I've ever experienced. And I started doing a little bit with network marketing in my late 20s. And I'm 54, so that's a long time. I've probably been in 10 companies, and I have never, ever felt as held, supported, encouraged, acknowledged, and seen as I do in this community. And I was getting a little teary a few minutes ago thinking about my sponsor, Helen Peak. When you and Gregory came to Fort Collins, Robin, years ago, I think it was maybe we had only been in LifeWave for a year. And we were at that little motel down on College Avenue across from the university. And I spoke. And I don't know about the rest of you, but I'm like the 80% of people who would rather die than speak publicly. I think it's like, what's the greatest fear? It's like public speaking, right? But I just kept going. And I've been hosting for years now. But I remember when I got up to speak, and it was planned, but I was so nervous speaking in front of like 40 people. And I remember looking at Helen, and she had the biggest smile of unconditional love on her face. And she was nodding to me like, you got this, girl. You got this. I will never forget that. And you, Robin, and Gregory, and so many on our team who have been so encouraging. I know beyond a shadow of a doubt, I have grown in the last 6.5 years with LifeWave like I have not in the previous 50 years of my life. So I'm just grateful. Thank you. That's my share.
Oh,
Back to you.
that's so beautiful. And there's nothing from my perspective more fulfilling than witnessing people blossoming in front of me. It's our job to get to the front of the room as quickly as possible and then get to the back of the room as quickly as possible, because it's not a stretch for us to be in front of the room, but it was at that time a stretch for you, and you did it. And now you're showing up as one of our beloved hosts all the time, there for us, building our team, supporting our team so beautifully, and you have blossomed, and it is such a gift for us to witness that. And, that's my favorite part. That's my biggest payment in this whole business. It's not the money. It's really not the money. And the money is great because we can share more, like was said earlier. And, having that opportunity. And I don't know any other business where the more you grow yourself, the more you earn. And, it was talked about earlier, I think Jen talked about climbing the ladder of success. Stephen Covey says you climb the ladder of success and you're always looking up someone's butt. It's like, and then he talks about having it against the wrong wall, but it's what is the ladder of success truly? Isn't it really about becoming our full potential? And we're all unique and we're all different and we all have strengths and we get to complement each other as a team. It's a team sport. Gregory's a much better presenter than I'm a much better facilitator, and together we make a great team. We complement each other. He's more strategic. I'm more relationship oriented. So when you get together with your team to, use your strengths. Yeah, that's beautiful. Thank you, Michelle.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Okay, who's next?
Josefina and then Lavelle and
Good.
then Helen again.
Okay, great. Josefina, I think you're on.
Thank you. Thank you. I just wanted to thank everyone for all you're doing. It's been an amazing journey for me to be part of this group here. Lavelle, from the very beginning, told us, he said, if you want to learn, you need to show up to the meetings, be present and take notes, because how did he word it? He said, show up and blow up. You got to show up to blow up. And I'm going to tweak that now. You got to show up if you want to grow. Because I see how that is happening. I appreciate everything all of you are doing, and all the beautiful things you're sharing with us. It would have cost us a lot of money to go to some of these seminars, but here we're getting it for free. And from
many of us have paid a lot to go to these seminars.
Yes. And I appreciate you taking the time and the way you say it, all of you, the way you just break it down for us so that we can take advantage of it and grasp it, because me personally, not having this kind of mindset and training, had never been in multi-level marketing before. This is all a new concept for me. And I also want to thank Kim for her, despite everything that she's going through, she has been such a leader. She has this Stock Insights program on Thursdays. And despite her mother passing away and her dad being in the hospital, she was showing up to put these classes for us, to do this for us. This is very huge. She's an inspiration to all of us. I know I'm doing the Spanish Zoom meetings on Fridays at 7. I'm doing the Power of the Patch. And we don't have a lot of people in attendance. And sometimes I feel like I should just give up. But there's a few that are just sucking it all up and they want it. And so that's my focus. If I can just train that one person, I've got it made. And I've got to keep that mindset. And so now she wants to learn how to develop the business. And I'm doing it for her on Mondays at 7, personal development. And I know eventually it'll grow. And the more the people are there, the more fun it is. But if it's just one person, I feel like I've been rewarded. And so you guys are just an inspiration for me to keep going. And we're trying to get those points to go to Hawaii.
All right. Hula points. Hula points. Yes. Oh, thank you so much for sharing that, Josefina. And, if you change one life, there's a ripple effect from every life you touch that touches so many more lives. And, you talked about we offer these things for free. The greatest investment we can ever make is in ourselves. It has nothing to do with money, because when we grow and we're stronger, it's going to reflect everywhere else. So thank you so much for sharing. That was beautiful. And keep up that work with the Spanish community. It will grow. Just keep showing up. One
Yes,
person can change a lot of people's lives. That's beautiful. And
thank you.
Roger says you're doing a great job on the Spanish call. Great. And he and Corolla speak Spanish too if you need support. Okay?
Thank you.
Right. Yeah, they speak Spanish, German, English, I think something else. It's amazing. Amazing.
Who was that?
Roger and Corolla. And you can send them a message in the chat here and reach out to them. Okay?
Okay, thank you.
All right.
Or on the Facebook group.
Or in the Facebook group. Yep. Great. So who's next?
Lavelle, then Helen, then Ravel.
Okay. Lavelle and Ravel.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, and thank you so much, Kim, Josefina. I see Dr. Latrice on here. We have such a phenomenal community, Robin. I want to also suggest a book that I read, and I'm reading it again, by Jeff Olson, called The Slight Edge.
It's a
And
great one.
he talks about baby steps. He talks about when you were in baby steps. He said when you were a child and you saw people, you were crawling around and you saw the older people walking, you decided to get in your head you was going to try that one time. You was going to try to walk. And he said when you tried to walk, sometimes you get up, but then you fall back down. He said, do you remember that you fell down more than you walked? He said, again, same thing in your life. You never got in your mind to just quit. Oh no, I'll just crawl around for the rest of my life. No, you got back up. And he said it's the same thing in network marketing. Just get back up. You're on the path of mastery. So he said, just the thing is that we get in the habit of quitting. That becomes a habit. We want to, guys, just get back up. And the only way to build your business and build people is just keep getting back up, just like Josefina said. Sometimes I feel like I want to quit, but you didn't want to quit when you were a child. Go back to baby steps. That's what it's all about. Thanks so much, Robin, for letting me share.
Oh, thank you, Lavelle. That's so beautiful. Yeah, it is really fun to watch toddlers, and they stumble and they fall, and they're called toddlers for a reason. We have a 1-year-old grandchild, and it is just a joy to watch him stretching and growing and just getting up again, getting up again. One of my favorite quotes on enlightenment is catching ourselves off track quicker than the time before. It's like when we're aware, because we're not children, we're not babies anymore. So when we stumble and when we do something that isn't, maybe in our highest good, and we're aware and we catch ourselves, and then that's the difference between man and animal. We have the awareness. And once you have the awareness, that gives us the power to choose and change what's next. So life is kind of like this. But what we're wanting to do, instead of having it be like this, having it be like this, and continually going up with less extremes, because there's no such thing as a straight line. We're always going up and down, but having the extremes be less and having the trajectory continue to go up and up and up. Okay. Who's next?
Helen, and then Ravel.
Okay.
And then I think we'll be concluding for today.
Okay, thank you so much for being my eyes, Liz. I so appreciate it. I was like, Helen.
Yeah, that whole mindset thing and observation, being aware. I was so fortunate in my 20s to get turned on to some personal growth. And I like to be playful about it too. So I have this Sherlock Holmes, imaginary Sherlock Holmes cap on. So I'm giving you this image today. He was so great. He could go in the room and see things other people didn't see because he was so observant, so aware, so open-minded. And so I have that on. And I just want to say, when we're having thoughts, another thing I learned was, say you have a thought of, man, I'm afraid I'm not good enough, or, whatever the thought may be, you just remind yourself, That's just a thought. Just because you have a thought doesn't mean it's true. You know, so you can't let those thoughts that would spiral you down. So I'm always looking, does this thought spiral me up? Or emotion too, by the way. You know, do these spiral me up or down? And so just always looking for what spirals us up and inspires ourselves and others.
Yeah, it's so true. Being aware of our thoughts. Where are they going? Are they moving towards what we want more of or away from what we want more of? Like when I was on the bicycle and I was watching my thoughts going, oh my gosh, there's these rails here and I could easily fall and I can't, my leg isn't strong. I mean, I was watching my mind go in a not good direction. And I'm watching it. And then I went, okay, I got to shift this. And so I shifted it and I called in, who I consider my support, my partners without bodies, and did my prayers and reshifted my focus into what I wanted more of. And that's the power we have as humans, is to be aware and choose to focus where we want to go versus where we don't want to go. Thank you for that. Okay, we have Ravel now. Is that, or did I miss someone?
Thank you
That's
very
correct.
much, Robin. It demonstrates leadership for people to be at this today and also listening later on. As a very atypical kind of accidental leader myself, similar to Kung Fu Panda, I always got back up. And it really helped, as mentioned earlier, the love in this community that motivates one to get back up. My major takeaways today, thank you, are, we're not building a business, we're building ourselves. I'm going to be better at ... What skill do you want to develop? And thank you for the reminder about John Maxwell's Power of Five. Growth is not automatic, it's intentional. And it's not about getting there, it's about continuous improvement. And Robin, you're accomplishing what you want to, which is to inspire people to be continual leaders. Thanks so much.
Thank you. You're such an amazing student, Ravel. And that's what I love about you guys. It's like you're showing up because you want to grow. And that was a beautiful summary you just did. And yeah, this little book, it's little, but boy, is it potent, and it's really little. You can get through this really quickly, but there's gems in here. And, we have to lead ourselves first and then support our organization. So I think that's it for today. Did we get everyone, Liz?
Yes, we did.
Well, what a team. I'm so grateful for Liz, because when I came on really early today and I was not, the controls are not available. I don't even see who's here, but we had a wonderful, I saw that, we had a wonderful group, but, I'm so grateful for each and every one of you for really making the commitment to grow yourself, because it absolutely will be reflected in your business and in your life. So thank you, everyone. If you want to unmute and say goodbye, that would be great.
Thank you, Robin. You're the best.
Thank you, Robin.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you, Robin.
Thank you,
Robin.
Robin.
Guys,
Bless you.
We love you.
So much appreciation, Miss
Thanks,
Robin.
Robin,
Thank
very
you.
much. Have a great day.
Thanks
I love you
much.
guys.
You look
Have a
so much
happy
younger.
Later.
Thanks,
Everyone.
Thank you. Thank you.
Enjoy
you
a
so
really
much.
good Thursday,
Amazing,
everyone.
Robin.
You
Blessings
are
to our
amazing.
Seychelles.
Think bigger.
You look so beautiful, full of all that love.
Doesn't she?
Yes.
Thank you,
Glowing and glowing.
Purple.
You look so young. I love it.
Thank you, everyone. I love you. Bye-bye.
Love you. Bye.